You're watching the best high school sports broadcast produced entirely by students and adult volunteers. This is Arrow TV.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Arrow TV, the home of the Watertown Arrows. We are excited tonight to bring you an exciting double-headed matchup between the T-Area Titans and your Watertown Arrows. Cam Corey with you tonight on the call. And as we look at the T-Area Titans, this is a team that is a Class A team. We don't get to see a lot of Class A teams, as Watertown, as you know, is a Class AA team. However, T-Area has a schedule that is not to be taken lightly. They are scoring or looking at a 4-4 record. Out of their schedule, they have 7 AA matchups. So they are a team that plays tough competition. They play above their class. And, you know, they just recently came off of a win over Aberdeen Central, which is a common opponent for the Watertown Arrows. T-Area has played Dakota Valley to a win. Jefferson, a AA school, they took them 61-55. They defeated an out-of-state foe of 56-53, which is a close one. And then Vermilion, who they did lose to, but that is been identified as one of the top Class A teams in South Dakota. And Canton, Tri-Valley, Sioux Falls Christian, they lost to, and the Watertown Arrows just lost to Sioux Falls Christian this past weekend. And then T-Area, of course, we've already talked about, beat the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles, as did the Watertown Arrows. As we look to the individual scorers and players for the T-Area Titans, we have come accustomed to hearing Katie Vasika, a 6'1" junior guard. She's an SDSU commit, but she is not playing tonight. She is, as we understand it, maybe a little bit injured. She has in the last year, she averaged 19 points per game, and T-Area will be without her tonight. T-Area is going to start a 5'4" senior guard in Kendra McKinney, a 5'4" junior guard in Maya Weber, a 5'5" junior guard in Hayden West, a 5'11" junior forward in Mara Grant, and they're going to round out with another guard, a senior, a 5'8"er, Stella Peterson. The Watertown Arrows, on the other hand, they're going to counter with a 3-4 record. This is only the third game that the Arrows are playing at home in the Civic Arena. The last time they played here was on December 6th, and since that time, the Arrows have won 2 and lost 1. As we look at their schedule, they broke out in the Civic Arena with a win, and then they went on the road for 2 games. Pierre and Brandon Valley, again, stay in that Eastern South Dakota Conference, took losses there. O'Gorman had a tough, hard-fought battle on the Civic Arena court here, and O'Gorman did escape with the win there. But what the Arrows do is they are confident on their home court. They come out, they're going to play a quick tempo offense. They're going to share the ball. And on their court, they have been a different team than when they have been traveling. So we expect to see some of the same there tonight. Now, as we talk about the individual players for the Watertown Arrows, they have 3 seniors. One of those seniors, Maddie Rohde, a USD javelin commit. She is ill and has missed the last couple of contests, and she again will miss tonight. So we hope Maddie is getting well and on the mend, and we hope to see her back soon. Tonight's are the other two seniors, and they will both be starting for the Arrows, is Jada Young. She's a 5'8 senior guard. She is a Dakota Wesleyan University commit. She comes in averaging 9.3 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 19 steals. She is quick, she's aggressive. One of the keys to her game is staying within herself. She's had 3 games this year that she has fouled out, so we want her to stay within herself, make timely fouls, and know when she needs to hold back a little bit. The other senior is going to be number 35, Kendall Paulson. She's a 5'9 forward, and she comes in tonight shooting 5.6 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, and does come in with 10 steals. Number 5, Emery Thury. She's a 5'10 sophomore forward, will be also starting. She is averaging 7.1 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, and does have 17 steals on the game. She's an athletic, quick guard forward, and she will take it to the rim. She's not afraid to go hard to the rim, and we will look for her to continue that tonight. Miranda Falconer, who is just coming back from injury. She's been out a couple games already this year, so the Arrows are happy to have her back. She started off the season averaging 2.8 points per game. She's a 22% three-point shooter, and we are excited to have her back in the lineup tonight. The 5th starter, rounding out that starting lineup for the Arrows, is Jade Lund. She's a 5'8 junior forward, and she is averaging 3.3 points per game and 2.4 rebounds per game. Grace Corey will come off the bench. She's a 5'6 sophomore forward. She's averaging 6.1 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, and 12 steals. We also expect Addie Johnson, a 5'6 junior guard, coming off the bench, and she's averaging 3.2 points per game. All right, we're going to take it and turn it over to the public address announcer, Mark Bellum, as we get ready for tonight's action.
Failure to do so could result in removal from this event. At this time, we ask you to remain standing for the national anthem. Tonight, the anthem will be played by the Watertown High School Band under the direction of Austin Fordham. Please show proper respect by removing your hat. Stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans and active duty personnel not in uniform may salute the flag. First, let's meet our Arrow cheerleaders. Brooklyn Dahl, Natalie Benson, Erica Stada, Lauren Keller, Grace Martinson, Alexis Olson, Gracie Ryder. Arrow cheerleading advisor is Mallory Hoffman. Now first, your starting lineups for the T area girls. Number 1, 5'4" senior guard Kendra McKinney. Number 2 is a 5'4" junior guard Maya Weber. Number 3, a 5'5" junior guard Hayden West. Number 10 is a 5'11" junior forward Mara Grant. And number 22, a 5'8" senior guard Stella Peterson. Assistant coaches Scott Bindi and Sarah Van Lacken. Head coach Adam Shorsman. And now your Watertown Arrows. Number 5, a 5'10" sophomore forward Ellery 3. Number 12 is a 5'8" senior forward Jada Young. Number 14, a 5'7" junior guard Miranda Falconer. Number 24 is a 5'8" junior guard Jay Lund. And number 35, a 5'9" senior forward Kendall Wilson. Assistant coaches Ty Miller, Stacy Hendricks, Mackenzie Bulow, head coach Chad Reed.
The stage is set. Watertown Arrows versus your T area Titans, a Class A team that is a good one, plays a very tough schedule. We're going to see Grant and Emery Thury that are going to be tipping it up. T is going to win the tip. Weber drives in, Miranda picks her up. That aggressive defense by Jade gives a little bit of difficulty. Grant inside misses the bucket, and Jade Lund gets the rebound, gives it off to Young. Young's going to bring it up with the right-hand dribble. Off to the right perimeter to Thury. Thury to Falconer. Falconer left-hand dribble to the top of the key to Lund. Over to Jada on the left perimeter and back to Paulson. Jade takes the shot, no good from three-point. Rebound comes down by Peterson. Gives it quick up the court to Weber. Weber brings it back out to West. Steal by Thury. Turnover by T area inside to Paulson down at the block. Paulson goes up for the shot, no good. And it is rebounded by McKinley. Peterson to the top of the key, right-hand dribble. She's going to take it in. Picked up by Young, no good. Paulson gets the rebound, loses it out of bound, but it is off of T area. So the Arrows are going to inbound it. Looks like T is going to come out into maybe a three-quarter trap here. Jada with the right-hand dribble, gives it off to Falconer. Falconer left hand, gets it across the 10-second line to Paulson. Paulson gives it back to Falconer. Falconer to Thury. Thury on the drive, given back to her. She dishes out, and over to Paulson. She passes up the shot. Back to the right wing, over to Young. Down to Thury. Thury at the point, picks up her dribble, gives it over to Falconer. Shot clock down to 6. Young takes the shot. No good, but Lund picks up the rebound. Jada at the point, drives in, right-hand dribble, no good. The DWU commit does get the steal back. So that is one of the pesky things that Jada does, and she gives it back into Thury, and Thury gets the bucket there. So the Arrows are going to go up to a quick 2-0 lead here. T comes back. Nice ball movement by T area there down to McKinley. McKinley Paulson down low, gives it off to Thury. Thury with the right-handed hook, no good. But Faulkner gets the rebound, gives it back to Jada. Jada misses that shot. T gets the rebound. T's going to bring it up the court, picked up by Young. Over to the right wing, gives it back to Peterson. Peterson at the top of the key. She's going to give it into Grant. And a steal again by Jada Young. Jada with the left-hand dribble. She doesn't have numbers. She waits for her teammates to come down. Lund takes a deep shot. We have an arrow bullseye, the first one for the evening. A three-pointer for Jade Lund. Steal by Thury. And Thury goes up and gets her second bucket. So we have a quick 7-2 point lead here for the Arrows. And this is what we talked about in the pregame for your Watertown Arrows. They're aggressive, they're confident on their home court, and T-Area is just playing a couple steps slow right now than the Arrows are. They are working it in on T is on their own side. They've got a couple of good shots. They haven't dropped, but they are having difficulty with that peskiness of your Arrow defense. So we'll look for that to continue, and of course T is going to look to make some adjustments to that and maybe pass the ball up and not dribble quite as much. So with 4:40 left in the first period, Arrows up 7-2. McKinney gives it off to Weber. And West at the top of the key gives it over to number 11, who's in now, which is Clayberg for T. And that is a turnover, which I have as the fourth turnover tonight for T area. Jade Lund's going to inbound it to Jada Young. Jada at the top gives it off to Faulkner on the right perimeter. Faulkner left-hand dribble, gives it over to Paulson. Paulson back to Young. Young is going to take a 10-footer, no good. Picked up by T area. T area is pushing up the court. Peterson drives it in, nice right-hand layup, and she gets 2 points, her first bucket of the night. 7-4, and we come in with that full court. Looked like Weber might have drew the foul there, but no call. And turnover for the Arrows by Thury. T comes right back. Gives it over to Peterson. Peterson to West. These numbers with that maybe gold type of trim on that dark navy is really hard for me to see up here for T area on the numbers. Jada pushes it up to Paulson, just out of her reach, but Paulson smartly gets it, is able to pass it back off the leg of T area, and the Arrows will maintain possession. Grace Corey, the 5'6" sophomore, comes in for Paulson, and she is got the ball inbounded to her. She takes a hard drive, left-hand drive, and misses the bucket and picks up the quick foul. Inbound to McKinney and back to Peterson. McKinney now is going to get it across that 10-second line, gives it back to Peterson. Peterson left-hand dribble to Weber. Weber over to that right perimeter. Dish out over to the corner for McKinney. No good. Grace Corey comes down with that rebound. Jada Young pushes it up to Jade Lund. She's over on the left perimeter, gives it back to the point where Faulkner's at. Faulkner to the right perimeter to Jada Young. Jada Young tries to get a cutting Lund, no good, but Lund does track it down, gives it back to Young. Young with the right-hand dribble into the lane, and she gets that roller. Her first 2 points the night. Peterson gives it off to Clayberg, and Clayberg is fouled. And Grace Corey picks up a quick second one there. So she is going to go back to the bench, and Emery Thury will come back into the game with Paulson. It's a tray by Weber. So 9-7, Arrows up. Falconer with an elbow shot, no good. Rebound by T-Area. Weber picks it up, gets it across the 10-second line. And she's going to drive. And Falconer with a very nice defensive play there. She gets the jump ball as the drive was happening. So well done by Falconer. Arrows will inbound. Lund to Jada Young. T again in that full court press. They're going to trap here at half court, or look to, but the Arrows easily break that. Get it to Young on the left perimeter. Young to Lund, over to Paulson, back to the top of Lund and back to the perimeter of Jada. Jada takes a three-pointer, no good, but rebounded by Paulson. Paulson gets back out to Jade Lund. Jade to Falconer, back to Thury on the left perimeter. Thury with the right-hand dribble, then crosses the left, no good. Gets it out to Young. Young back to Thury. Thury loses the handle on the ball, and that is a turnover for the Arrows. That is their second turnover. Jade Young, Lund down low on defending Grant, and she fouls Grant as Grant was going up for a shot. Mara Grant's a 5'11" junior forward for T. She's going to shoot the first of two. First one is no good for Mara Grant. Addie Johnston, a 5'6" junior guard, and Avery Munger, a 5'11" junior forward, come onto the court for the first time tonight for the Arrows. Second one is good for Grant. Jada Young takes the point, gets it over to Addie Johnston. Addie gets it across the 10-second line, and they feed it into Emery Thury, who is cutting. Emery goes up strong, gets the bucket, and is fouled. So that is Thury's third bucket of the night. She's got 6 points. Foul is called on Hayden West. And Thury misses the free throw for that conventional three-point play. Back to the other end with T-Area. And we have a turnover by T-Area. That's their 5th of the evening. Johnston brings it back the right hand to the right-hand perimeter. Moves over to Young at the top. Young back to Thury. Thury to Addie Johnston. Johnston takes the three, no good. Avery Munger and Clayberg fight after that rebound. It does go off of Clayberg, so the Arrows will maintain possession. Young is inbounding it, inbounds it to Avery Munger. Munger over to Johnston. Johnston's going to set up the offense, top of the key. Johnston to Lund at the right perimeter. Lund with left-hand dribble, back to Munger at the top. Over to Addie in the left perimeter, and Young is now going to reset the offense. She's going to try and isolate. She gets it over to Thury. Thury gives it back to Johnston. 4 seconds remaining. Jada kind of loses possession. And with 0.4 seconds remaining, Jada does lose control of the ball, and T will take possession. That is the Arrows' third turnover of the evening. So after quarter number 1, the Arrows 11, T-Area 8. So after that initial surge by the Watertown Arrows, T-Area was able to handle that. They settled down and have played much better as that remaining quarter number 1 did finish out. T-Area ends the first quarter with 5 turnovers, and Watertown has 3. We'll be back in a few seconds. Welcome back to Aero TV. We've got a good one here. Watertown up 11 over T area with 8. T's going to begin the second quarter with possession. McKinney to West. West over to Peterson. Peterson, the top, gives it over to West. And West is at the top. Three-pointer, no good by Weber. And out of bounds. So the Watertown Arrows will maintain possession. Jada Young off to Jade Lund. Jade trying to get it across that 10-second line, and she is fouled by Stella Peterson. That's Stella's first foul on the evening. Faulkner inbounds to Jada Young. Jada's going to get over the 10-second line. She's picked up by McKinney. Over to Faulkner, right hand, then to Young. Young's going to take the three-pointer, forward arrow, bullseye! That is her first three-pointer of the evening. She has 5 points. McKinley to Peterson. Peterson with a long shot, no good. Arrows come down with the rebound. Young's pushing it up to Lund. Lund with the left-hand dribble on the left perimeter. She stopped, gets it back to Jada Young. Young back to Faulkner. Faulkner gives it to Thury. Thury left alone. She drives, shoots, no good. Rebound by T. T is pushing it up to West. West is stopped down low, and she gets it back out. Grant picks up her dribble at the elbow, gives it to Weber. Weber back to Peterson. Peterson with right-hand dribble, and knocked out of bounds. A foul is going to be called on the Watertown Arrows. Miranda Faulkner's first foul of the evening. Shot inbound, and Grant gets her first bucket. That's her 3rd point of the evening. Arrows, though, quickly go down to the other end. No good by Paulson, but rebounded by Thury. Thury dishes it out to Lund. Lund takes the three-pointer, no good, and off the Arrows, out of bounds. So T area is going to have possession. Arrows up 14-10. 6:06 left in the second quarter. West gets a cutting. Titan. Peterson off of Thury. She goes and tracks it down, gets it back to Grant. Grant comes down, and she gives it over to West. West takes the three-pointer, and it's good. 14-13, Arrows up only by 1. Jada Young with the drive. And that is 2 for Jada Young. That's her 7th point on the evening. Turnover by T. Paulson gets the luxury of that loose ball. Jade Lund on the right perimeter gives it to the top of the key to Thury. Thury off to Jada. Jada is resetting the offense, gives it over to Faulkner. Faulkner left-hand pass to Young. Young back to Paulson. Paulson trouble handling it, but gets it off to Faulkner. Faulkner to Young. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Young takes the off-balance three-pointer. No good. Comes down for the rebound, and they are going to call Miranda Faulkner for the foul and a push there. Not so sure about that. She was laid out for it on the ground, but that's the call, and so we're going to go with it. Grace Corey back in the court, along with Thury, Young, Lund, and Paulson. Weber on that right perimeter, gives it over to Peterson. Steal by Corey. Corey's going to give the right hand. She's got somebody coming up behind her. She picks it up, gives it over to Paulson. Paulson to Jada. Jada with the shot, no good. Rebound by Thury. Thury goes up with the 2. That's her 8th point tonight. McKinney gets it across that 10-second line to West. West down low, and they're going to call a push on the Arrows. So T is going to maintain possession here, and it looks like there's going to be a timeout called. So right now we're at 16 fouls for the Arrows and 2 for the Titans. Arrows up 18-13. 4:08 remaining in the second quarter. Arrows up 18-13. T is going to inbound the basket underneath their own bucket. And they do get it into Grant. Grant drives down, and she takes the jumper. No good. Fight underneath. Corey with the rebound. Corey outlets it to Young. And Young is fouled by Hayden West of T. Corey inbounds it to Jada Young. Young gets across the 10-second line. Gives it over to Addie Johnson on the left perimeter. Addie with the right-hand dribble. And she misses a cutting Thury. Gets it over to the right of Jada. Jada back to Thury. Thury to Corey with right-hand dribble. Nothing going. Gets it to Paulson. Paulson to Johnston. Johnston left hand. Looking in. Nothing there. Gets it over to Jada on the left. She sees the cutting Thury, and Thury misses the left-handed layup. Corey gets the rebound, and they do call a jump ball. So the Arrows now will inbound underneath their own basket. Addie Johnston is going to inbound. And she gets it to Jada on the left perimeter. Jada to Paulson to Thury. Thury with the right-hand dribble. Gets it back to Johnston. Johnston to Jada Young. Jada dribbles left hand, gets it to Corey. Corey goes in with the left-hand side and a layup, and that's her first bucket of the night, 2 points. Arrows up 20-13. Clayberg back in, gets it down low to Grant. Grant loses the handle. And they end up calling a foul on Grant, offensive foul down there in the corner. So good defense by the Arrows. And we talked about that in the pregame as well, that the Arrows are quick, confident, and pesky on their home court. Corey with left-hand dribble, picks it up at the top of the key, gives it off to Paulson. Paulson back to Young. Young with a quick skip pass to Johnston. Johnston with the 3, no good. Tieria's Clayberg comes down with the rebound. She's going to push it up the court. She gets it to McKinney. McKinney looks at it, takes the 3-point shot. No good. Rebound by Thury. wide open down there is Paulson. Jada sees that, gets it to her. Johnston's going to take the three-pointer, and arrow bullseye for Addie Johnston. It's her first 3 points of the night. Johnston is a 40% three-point shooter, so she's one of the good ones out there from that three-point line. Grace Corey, a little aggressive there, picks up her third foul of the evening. So she's going to take a seat, and we're going to see Falconer back. We're going to see Jade Lund on the court. Jada Young, Addie Johnston, and Kendall Paulson are on the court for your Watertown Arrows. At the line is Maya Weber. No good. Jada Lund brings that down. Or excuse me, that might be Rylan Conrad. Again, I cannot see those numbers from up here. No good. Actually, that is Natalie Gass, I guess. 32, Gass. All right, Paulson to Johnston. Falconer. Left wing to Young. Young back to Addie. Addie to Paulson. Paulson right-hand dribble, no good. Gives it to Falconer. Falconer with the three-pointer, no good. Neely Johnson is on the court. It's good to see her back as well. She has been out for, I believe, the last 4 games, if I'm not wrong in that. She's a 5'8" junior forward. She had been dealing with some illness, and good to see her back on the court. Addie Johnston, aggressively guarded there at the top, gives it off to Jada Young. Jada with right-hand dribble, no good, but gets her own rebound. Gives it back to Neely. Neely with right-hand dribble, tries to feed it down to Avery. Avery loses the handle there, and as she goes after it, does pick up the foul. So Avery Munger gets her first foul of the night, which is going to, of course, put T Area at the line. Maya Weber, a 5'4" junior guard. Maya's got 3 points so far tonight, and she picks up her 4th point. So she'll take the second shot. Arrows 26, T Area 16. Weber makes them both. Jada pushes it up to Addie. Addie picks up her dribble, gives it to Jada Young. Jada with the right-hand dribble to Lund on the right perimeter. Lund left-hand dribble, decides to pass it off to Johnston. Johnston now to Munger at the right perimeter. Jada's going to set up the offense now at the point. Guarded aggressively there by Natalie Gass. Jada again on the right wing. She takes that shot, and it's an arrow bullseye, a deep one for Jada Young. So at the half, we've got the Watertown Arrows 29, T Area 17. Your halftime entertainment this evening is the Watertown Dance Team. They will be on the court in just a couple of moments.
Tonight's halftime entertainment is the Watertown Performance Dance Team. Tonight's dance was choreographed by Maya Van Laken and Hannah Landmark. Dance team is coached by Amber Thomas.
Welcome back to Aero TV, where the Watertown Arrows lead the T-Area Titans 29-17 at half. I apologize to the T-Area Titan fans out there for the call regarding some of the players. It is very, very difficult to see their numbers here tonight from my vantage point in the Watertown Civic Arena. I do believe the rules, South Dakota High School activities rules, are going to change and for contrasting numbers in the upcoming year. So I would assume those jerseys would be some that would need to be retired. So as we look at the first half, your scores of Kendra McKinney for T-Area, she has 2 points. Maya Weber has 5 points, 1 3-pointer, 2 free throws. Hayden West has a 3-pointer. Mara Grant, she's got a free throw and 1 bucket for 3 points. Stella Peterson has 2 points. And Natalie Gass, the 5'9" freshman forward for T-Area, has 2 points. They have 6 turnovers in the first half. Watertown Arrows are led by sophomore forward Emery Thury with 8 points. She has 4 buckets. Correction, I guess they're led by Jada Young, the senior, the Dakota Wesleyan University commit. She's got 10 points, 2 3-pointers, and 2 2-point buckets. Miranda Falconer has a 3-pointer. Jade Lund has a 3-pointer. Grace Corey has a bucket for 2 points, and Addie Johnston has a 3-pointer. The Watertown Arrows had 3 turnovers in that first half. As we look ahead for your entertainment and the educational value of these athletes and the support that you can give them, we here at Aero TV bring you the best that we can by volunteer students. And on Thursday, January 19th, we're going to bring you the wrestling of between the Watertown Arrows and the Millbank Bulldogs. That's going to be brought to you by my friend and colleague and SDSU Jackrabbit Hall of Famer, Brian DeYoung. He'll have the call that evening. So if you are one that doesn't know a lot about wrestling, tune in. He gives some very good vantage points. He gives some good thoughts, and a person can certainly learn a lot about wrestling listening to his calls. We'll have a duel, gymnastics duel between the Harrisburg Tigers and the Watertown Arrows on Friday, January 20th, starting at 4:30 p.m. And then an invite, a gymnastics invite between, there'd be actually 12 teams here at the Watertown Civic Arena, and that'll be Saturday, January 21st at 11:30 a.m., and again brought to you here on Aero TV. We'll have boys basketball action on Friday, January 27th at 7 p.m., and that will be between believe that's going to be between Douglas and the Arrows there on January 27th. Of course, we're just have the front end of a doubleheader here tonight. We will have T-Area and the Watertown Arrow boys game right after the girls game, and that's going to be brought to you tonight by broadcaster Brandon Johnston. So look for him here after our girls game. So our post game will be short this evening, so we can give enough time to pregame your boys action. You know, I called us, or I named this production crew. They're all volunteers here, and they are a dedicated bunch. And a shout out needs to go to Emily Miller, who's on our main camera this evening. On our courtside cameras, we have Carter Remmers and Spencer Remmers. The video switchboard, Carter Miller. Our video board graphics is Katie Liederbrand. Our production crew is directed by Carter and Katie under the supervision of Ryan Remmers. So that is a crew that we couldn't give you the footage that we have and bring you tonight's coverage. So if you know them, please thank them for their dedication to bringing you tonight's action. We will be back in just a few minutes.
My favorite meal is meatloaf. My favorite subject in school is math. My favorite Grace Corey, sophomore, Cam and Sarah Corey. My favorite Aero basketball memory is when we beat Huron at home. My favorite meal is meatloaf. My favorite subject in school is math. My favorite pro sports team is the Minnesota Vikings. My favorite TV show is Grey's Anatomy. A person I look up to is my sisters. My favorite professional athlete is Larry Bird. If I could travel anywhere in the world, I would go to Germany.
And there you have Grace Corey, a girl after my own heart. Her favorite player, Larry Bird, Larry Legend of the Boston Celtics. We like to get a little retro there. She also likes meatloaf. There's a little bit of a giggle in the gym after she said she liked meatloaf as her favorite food, but it's always good to learn a little bit about these student athletes, and again, we appreciate them volunteering their time to do that. It's fun. Our production crew enjoys doing that. The athletes enjoy doing that. And of course, we as supporters of our student athletes enjoy that as well. So we've got our second half coming up with the Arrows leading 29-17. T area has had some difficulty with that aggressiveness and peskiness of the Watertown Arrows. T comes in with the ball the second half. Peterson gets it off the left wing, gives it back at the center, tries to get it down low. Nothing going, brings it back to the perimeter. Perimeter shot, three-pointer, no good. Jada Young is called for the foul. She did give that right-hand push to Hayden West, so she is going to be picked up with that foul. That's a good call. T-Area is going to inbound it. Get it into West. West tries to get it long down low to Peterson, and they do. Peterson has to get it back out to West. She does. Down low, no call. T-Area is definitely trying to work it in. A reverse layup, no good, but Mara Grant gets the hoop there. Falconer with two. (31-19) Arrows up. And they're going to get it into West. West going to bring it up, and she's going to be picked up by 30. West with left-hand dribble to the point. She's going to get it to Peterson. Peterson has trouble with it, but does pick it up and gets it to McKinney. McKinney over to West. West does get it down to Weber, and Weber over to Grant. Grant gets her second one of the second half. 31-21. Turnover, no, so off of Lund, then off of T area and out of bounds. So Nearly a turnover by the Watertown Arrows, but they do get lucky there. Jada Young's going to take it out, and she's going to get it into Paulson. Paulson at the top, gets it over to Miranda, the left wing, to Thury. Thury right-hand dribble, no, dishes it out to Lund. Lund takes the three-pointer, no good, and it goes out of bounds. T-Area is going to take possession. So T-Area has come out and they are being more aggressive. They're quicker, their passes are much more crisp, and they are trying to work it down low. And they have been successful to Grant here in the second half. Peterson tries to get over to Young. Young does get the steal. That is a turnover by T-Area. Out to Lund at the top. Lund to Thury. Thury, quick pass over to Faulkner. Faulkner with the three. Arrow bullseye for Miranda Faulkner. Faulkner has 8 on the night. Peterson at the top gets it into Grant. Grant with the shot, no good. Rebound by Jada. Jada pushes it up to Faulkner. Faulkner is picked up there. She gets it back to Jada. Jada at the top of the key. She's guarded aggressively by McKinney. Jada gets it off to Lund. Lund left-hand dribble, dishes it out to Faulkner. Faulkner to Emery down in the paint. Emery with a nice footwork, no good with the left hand. Mini hook. T-Area is pushing it right back up. Grant is running the court. She goes up, no good, but good rebound by T-Area's Weber. Gets it back to Grant. Grant gets the shot. So T-Area is a lot more aggressive. They made some adjustments during that during that halftime, and it is paying off here. So we'll see if the Arrows can weather this storm and these adjustments. Faulkner at the top of the key. Right-hand dribble to the perimeter of Jade Lund. Jade back to Emery. Emery left-hand perimeter to Paulson. Back to Miranda. Miranda drives in, gives it off to Paulson. Paulson short jumper, no good. And T-Area comes down with that rebound. T-Area is going to push it up the court. So they're going to give the Arrows a little bit of their own medicine here. Quick off to the left perimeter, three-pointer, no good. And Emery Thury steps out of bounds as she's trying to save it. So that is going to be a turnover by the Watertown Arrows. Addie Johnston is going to come onto the court and T-Area. West at the top of the key, gives it over to Weber. Weber down to Peterson. Peterson with the right-hand shot, no good. Paulson comes up with the rebound, gets it off to Jada Young. Jada Young is going to push it up the court. She does to Johnston on the left perimeter. Johnston the right-hand dribbled over to Faulkner. Faulkner to Corey. Corey loses the grip. Not a great pass, but she tracks it down, and they are resetting the offense. Faulkner left-hand dribble, gives it to Corey. Corey for the three-pointer, no good. And now T-Area's on the sprint. Grant running down. And Corey gets the strip of Grant, and the ball does go out, but does save the easy bucket there. So T-Area is going to inbound the pass underneath the bucket. Gives it to Grant underneath the hoop. She goes up strong, and 2 points for Grant. So Grant is really taking over this second half. That's her 11th point for the night. 34-25, Arrows up. Johnston for three, and that's an Arrow bullseye for Addie Johnston. It's her second three of the night. Addie Johnston, as I mentioned earlier, she is a 40% three-point shooter. So she's a good one from that outside perimeter. And when she gets the opportunity, she does well. So area is going to inbound this, and it looks like Watertown is going to come out in a full court, or at least three-quarter court press. T area does get it into McKinney. McKinney gives it back. Right-hand dribble brings it down to Grant. Grant gives it back to West. West, the left hand. West over to Weber. Weber gives it back, tries to get it down low. Steal by Falconer, and then Falconer is pushed from behind by Mara Grant. That is going to be Grant's second foul of the evening. Avery Munger, she is back on the court. She's a 5'11 junior forward. Jada Young's going to bring up the court, right-hand dribble, and she's going to be picked up at the top of the key by McKinney. Over to Falconer. Falconer left-hand dribble to the top of the key, gives it over to Corey. Corey to the left to Jada Young, gives a screen to Jada, and then she rolls and tries to get it into her. No good. Steal and turnover by the Arrows. Shot goes up by Grant, and Grant gets another shot. So her 13th point of the evening. Arrows up 37-27. Jada Young brings it back, gives it to Falconer. Falconer, left-hand dribble to Johnston. Johnston, right-hand dribble, top of the key, gives it over to Avery. Avery, top, and something down low. So foul is called. It appears to be called on T area, and they're going to call that on Kendra McKinney. That's her first foul of the evening, and T area's team foul number 2. Jade Lund is going to inbound it, and she does to Jada Young. And Grace Corey is called for the offensive foul down low at the push. That's her 4th foul on the evening. So the Arrows up 37-27. McKinney brings it up court, picked up by Thury. And they're going to try and trap her at the top. She gets through that. Gas is in for T area, gets it down to Grant. Grant takes a tough shot, no good. McKinney goes after that, and she just loses it out of bounds. So Watertown will take possession. Falconer's going to inbound it to Jada Young. Jada's going to bring it up to court. She's going to be picked up by Natalie Gass, the 5'9 freshman forward. She gives it over to Falconer on the right wing. Falconer right-hand dribble, gives it to Paulson. Now it's on the left wing with Jada Young. Jada sees Paulson, not so much. That window was not open. Turnover, Arrows. That's their 6th turnover on the evening. Grant with the drive in, contested by Jade Lund, and Jade Lund is called for the foul. So that's Jade's first foul on the evening. The Watertown Arrows team foul number 3. Inbound comes in to Grant. Grant takes the shot. Long jumper. McKinney gets the rebound, fights for it, eventually ping-pongs out, and Thury gets the loose ball, gives it over to Jada Young. Jada to the left wing of Falconer. Falconer right-hand dribble, kind of loses it, gets back to Paulson. Paulson to Jada on the right wing. Jada gives it back to Thury at the top. Thury over to Lund. Lund right-hand dribble, gives it to Paulson. Paulson to Falconer. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Peterson with tough defense there, gives it to Thury. Thury's got a drive, she shoots. Blocked, shot, gets off by Falconer, no good. T gets the rebound. Clayberg goes in, and they're going to call Falconer with the foul. So Clayberg goes hard to the basket. Falconer tries to get the charge. Not set, and she is called for the foul. So good call there by the officials, as we saw on that replay. First one up by Clayberg is no good. Addie Johnston's going to give Miranda Falconer a break. The Arrows up 37-27. Clayberg at the line. And she makes her first point of the evening. Jada Young, takes the point, gives it over to Addie Johnson in the left wing. Addie with the right hand dribble, now crosses back to the left. She picks up her dribble, she's in trouble. Gets it over to Thury. Thury to Young on the right wing. Thury cuts, Jada gets it to her, and Thury misses the right-handed floater. T-Area pushes it right back. McKinney over to Gass. Grant with the jumper, no good. Jada Young with the rebound, 1 second left, she heaves it, no good. So after quarter number 3, Arrows 37, T-Area 28. Kind of a high five. There it is. Got some Arrow seniors there in the high five cam. Oh, they're gonna shake hands. There you go. Gotta love the high school experience, environment, the fun that you can have of high school athletics. The environment here tonight, the Watertown Civic Arena, is exciting. It keeps filling in for the boys game, which is directly after your Arrow girls finish playing here tonight. Falconer is going to inbound to Young, and they're going to have Paulson, Lund, and Thury on the court. Paulson top of the key of Thury. Thury over to the right of Young. Back to Lund. Lund wide open three. No good. Brought down by Hayden West. West is going to run the offense. She's picked up by Paulson. She drives. Paulson does give the right hand push, so that is a foul on Paulson. That's her first of the evening. Watertown team foul number 5. Inbound goes to Grant. Grant's been hot this second half. She picks up her dribble by Thury. Three-pointer, and she is fouled by Kendall Paulson on maybe the box out. We've seen T-Area do that a couple of times where they shoot and then any contact at all, they fall. And in that case, they were given the foul. Very little contact as we saw on that rebound, but it doesn't matter when it is called. West makes that free throw. And Jada Young brings it up, so we have a 37-30 ball game. Thury to Falconer. Falconer over to Jada. Jada right hand dribble. Nice dribble in. She's got 2. That's her 12th point of the evening. T-Area comes right back, and she's trapped up at the top, and she gets out of it to Peterson. Peterson over to West. West gets it back to McKinney. McKinney now to the top of the key of West. They get it back down to Grant. Grant takes the jumper, no good. Saved by T-Area though, and they get it back down. And off of T-Area. So Watertown will inbound it, and Jada is going to be picked up right away by Natalie Gass, the freshman. Nice, aggressive. Jada does break that. Gets it to Falconer. Falconer with the shot. No good. And off of Emery Thury. So T area will take possession. Arrows up 39-30 with 6 minutes, 30 seconds left in period number 4. Inbound to Maya Weber. Weber gives it back to West. West gets it across the 10-second line. They find Grant again down low. Grant gives it back out, and long three-pointer. Grant gets the rebound, but brings it down and is tied up by Jade Lund. So Grant had it, but brought it down to her waist, and the Arrows quickly grabbed onto it for the jump ball. T-Area is going to inbound it underneath the hoop. Grace Corey back into the game. Deep shot, and that's a three-pointer for Clayburgh. Miranda Falconer brings it across the 10-second line to Thury. Thury's to Falconer to Young. Young right-hand dribble, gets it to Thury at the corner. Thury picks up her dribble, gives it back to Young in the corner to Falconer. Corey with the three-pointer. No good. Out of bounds on the Arrows. 39-33. Arrows up right now over the Titans, but the Titans are bringing in a furious attack here in the second half. They made their adjustments during halftime. They're playing a lot quicker, taking care of the basketball, and the score is reflecting that. Off of the Arrows, so T will maintain possession. Going to be inbounded by McKinney. McKinney gets it into Peterson. Peterson, left-hand dribble over to Clayburgh. Clayburgh right-hand dribble back to McKinney. McKinney's looking for something. Goes over to the left perimeter of Weber. Weber into McKinney. McKinney gets it back out. 3 seconds left, three-pointers up. And out of bounds on T area. So last touched by Maya Weber, the Arrows will get possession. So full court press coming out by T. Grant picks up Corey. Corey with the right-hand dribble. Goes into the paint, gives it out to Jada. Jada with a quick jumper, and that is good. 14 points for Jada Young this evening. T comes back quickly, though, with Clayburgh over to Peterson. Peterson with a skip pass, now back to the top of Clayburgh. Clayburgh looking into Grant, and Corey gets the steal. She brings it up, gives it to Jada Young. Jada over to Thury. Thury to short corner of Paulson. Paulson, top of the corner, top of the key to Corey. And Grant is, that was missed a couple, I think a reach in, maybe a push there as well. Falconer no good. Rebound Jada Young. Jada goes up strong, and the bucket is going to count. So Jada Young is going to have an attempt for a conventional three-point play. That's her 16th point on the evening. Arrows 43, Titans 33 right now. Corey, Falconer, Young, Paulson, and Jade Lund all on the court for the Watertown Arrows. Shots up, and it is good for Jada Young. 17th point of the evening. Arrows come out in a full court. They're looking to trap right there. And they do get the steal by Paulson. Jada takes the shot, jumper, and that is good. So the DW commit has 19 points on the evening. T comes back, gets it down to Grant. Grant with a quick turnaround shot, no good. She gets her own rebound, and Kendall Paulson gets the rebound for the Arrows. Jada Young's pushing up the court. Jade Young is running down, misses that left-hand layup. T gets the rebound. T area quickly trying to bring it back up, and steal by Young. Paulson gets the loose ball. Paulson slowing it down now, which is a good decision. Young is picked up by the freshman. Over to Faulkner, left-hand dribble, top of the key, gives it off to Lund. Lund over to the left perimeter of Young. Young drives in and gets a 15-footer for her 21st shot of the, or point of the night. 48-33, Arrows up over T area. Grant with the jumper, no good. Rebound is initially controlled by Kendra McKinney of T area, but she again brought it down to her waist, and the Arrows, they're pesky, they're quick hands, and knock it out of her hands, and she loses control, and the Arrows will maintain possession. Arrows, Johnston gets it into Jada Young. Jada Young is going to get across the half-court line to Jade Lund on that left perimeter. Jade with the right-hand dribble, picks it up top of the key, gets it to Corey. Top of the key, Corey over to Jade. Jade to Corey on the after. That's Corey's 4th point of the evening. T right back to the corner of West. West to Peterson. Peterson tries to get it in to the box, no good. She drives into the lane, and Peterson is going to get a bucket and go to the line. She is going to be fouled by Kendall Paulson. That is her 4th foul on the evening. So Watertown up 50 to T area's 35. Peterson gets that for the conventional 3-point play, so she has 6 points on the evening. Watertown 50, T area 36. There's 2:01 left in the 4th period. The Watertown Arrow cheerleaders take the court, and they are comprised by Erica Andrews, Natalie Benson, Annabelle Brendan, Brooklyn Dahl, Lauren Keller, Mackenzie Lewis, Grace Martinson, Alexis Olson, Gracie Ryder, and Erica Stodham. So the Arrows are going to come out with Corey, Young, Johnston, Paulson, and Lund. Lund gets it into Jada Young. Jada quickly gets it down to the other end, gives it back to Lund. Lund quickly back to Young. Young to Johnston. Johnston left-hand dribble, picks it up, gives it to Lund. Lund over to Young. Arrows don't need to force anything right now. Jada does give a right-hand dribble, and she is fouled by Natalie Gass, that 5'9" freshman forward for T area. Arrows will inbound. Johnston does to Paulson. Paulson gets it to Young. Young sees a cutting Jade Lund, and Lund gets her 5th point of the evening. Inside to Grant. Grant is defended by Paulson. Paulson challenges her, and believe that is going to be Paulson's 5th foul on the evening. That's going to send Grant to the foul line, and Paulson fouled out. So Avery Munger, the 5'11 junior forward, will replace Kendall Paulson. Grant goes to the line, no good on the first of her 2 shots. Grant has had an exceptional second half here. She's got 13 points on the evening. 9 of them have come in that second half. She shoots that one, no good. Grace Corey, the 5'6 sophomore, gets position over the taller T area, and that T area Titan had to foul her to get the rebound. The Arrows break the press, get it to Johnston. Johnston with the left-hand shot, and she is fouled by T. And so Johnston is going to go to the line. Addie Johnston is a 90% free throw shooter. She averages 3.2 points per game. Tonight, she has got 2 3-pointers, so she is above her season average with 6 points. She's been a spark plug off the bench tonight for the Watertown Arrows. Again, the Watertown Arrows are missing senior Maddie Rohde, who is ill. The Arrows have been missing one of their core players for about the last 4 or 5 games of the season. But as Coach Rohde talks about, and their jerseys say, on the back of it, it says family. And what that stands for is forget about me, I love you. And he is preaching about trust each other. And when you're on the court, no matter who you're on the court with, we have to trust them and that they're going to get the job done. And tonight, that's exactly what you're seeing. And we've seen some of that, glimpses of that throughout the season. And they're missing, like I said, some of their contributors. This is their 8th game of the year, and I believe, you know, out of those 8 games, 5 of them have had a different starting rotation, which is telling you that there's some depth from the Arrows that can play and play well. Addie with the second shot, and she makes that one. So Johnston with her 7th point of the evening. T brings it back down, and they're going to call Jade Lund with a push on McKinney. So that's Jade Lund's 2nd foul. 1:06 left in this 4th period with the Watertown Arrows up 53-36. Addie Johnston is going to take a breather, and Miranda Falconer comes back onto the court. No good by McKinney, and rebound goes the Arrows' way. Jada, right-hand dribble, gets across that center stripe to Corey. Corey to Munger. Munger to Jada. Jada into the paint, tries a floater, but loses the grasp, and she's just going to bring it out. 44 seconds left, 13 seconds, 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Corey drives baseline, and she gets the bucket for her 6th point of the evening. T area comes right back, picked up by Avery Munger. Out to Peterson. Peterson takes the shot, no good. Grace Corey with the rebound, and she's going to bring it up the court with the left-hand dribble. She's picked up by Peterson off to the left of Lund. Lund gives it back to Jada Young. 12 seconds left. Falconer comes and gets it. And now the T-area Titans will concede with 1 second left on the clock, and Watertown is going to take the win tonight with a 55-46 36 win over T Area. We're going to quickly go into our post game here so we can get right to that boys game between the Arrows and T Area. So as we break this down, both teams really cut down on their turnovers in that second half. T Area finishes with 7 turnovers on the evening, and the Watertown Arrows complete the night, maybe with their lowest turnover number on the year with only 6 turnovers. As we look at your T Area Titans, they played 7 girls, and they ended up the night with Kendra McKinney had 2 points. Maya Weber, a 5'4" junior guard, she had a 3-pointer and 2 free throws to end the night with 5 points. Hayden West, a 5'5" junior guard, ends the night with 5 points, a 3-pointer and 2 free throws. Mara Grant, she ends up with a team high of 13 points, and she had 3 points in the first half and finishes out the second half with 10 points. So very nice second half for Mara Grant. Stella Peterson, a 5'8" senior guard, she ends the night with 5 points, 2 buckets, and a free throw. Off the bench for T Area is Ellie Clayberg, a 5'6" freshman guard. She finishes the evening with 4 points, a 3-pointer and a free throw. And another freshman, 5'9", freshman forward, Natalie Gass, finishes the night with 2 points. So they have off the bench, end up with 6 points coming off the bench. Your Watertown Arrows, they are led with a team high and actually game high of 21 points by the senior, Jada Young. She finishes the night again with 21 points, and she had 2 3-pointers. Both of those came in the first half. So 10 points is what she scored in the first half and 11 points in the second half. So she had a balanced night in both halves and a very, very nice night. And I believe that is her season high of 21 points. Emery Thury, the sophomore, finishes the night with 8 points on 4 buckets. Miranda Falconer coming back after a lengthy stint, getting well after injury. She finishes the night with 8 points. Jade Lund, a junior, finishes the night with 5 points. She gets a 3-pointer and a bucket. Grace Corey comes off the bench and scores 6 points. 4 points in the second half, 2 points in the first half. Addie Johnston was the spark plug tonight for the Watertown Arrows, and she ends with 7 points, 2 3-pointers, and a free throw. So the Watertown Arrows take 13 points from the bench, and our Watertown Arrow player of the game tonight has got to be Jada Young. She had some terrific steals. She is high points. She had some good rebounds, good leadership. But overall, she ended the game with 1 foul and led her team in probably their lowest turnover margin of the year. So Jada Young is our player of the game. This is going to end my broadcast. This is Cam Corey. I want to thank again the production crew of Emily Miller, Carter Remmers, Spencer Remmers, Carter Miller, Katie Liederbrand, and Ryan Remmers. Brandon Johnson brings you the Watertown Arrow boys game. Stay tuned. He'll be right with you.